the late summer of 2019, hospitals across the United States began seeing something terrifying. Young adults, teens, healthy people with one thing in common: severe respiratory failure. Their lungs weren't sick with infection, they were burning from within. This wasn't a flu, it wasn't pollen, it was something new, something dangerous, linked to an illicit trend hiding in plain sight. This is the counterfeit cart crisis. By late 2019, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, the federal agency charged with protecting the public health, had logged hundreds of cases of a severe lung injury that had never been seen before. Known as EVALI, e-cigarette or vaping associated lung injury, this condition was causing breathing failure, fever, vomiting, chest pain, and inflammation so severe that patients needed oxygen support or ventilators. Medical imaging revealed a pattern doctors described as ground glass opacities, densified lung tissue caused by widespread inflammation and fluid infiltration. This isn't just irritation, this is chemical injury.
This event that we're going to tonight just seems to be a group of vendors that have gathered together informally in one place so they can sell their vape cartridges. This is the illicit market for THC vape oil. To find out how dangerous and potentially deadly vape products end up on the streets, we brought hidden cameras to a warehouse 75 miles east of LA, where marijuana's black market feels more like a house party.
I see everybody having a good time.
The THC oil inside these cartridges is unregulated. There's no way to know exactly what's in them and how it could hurt you.
I got strawberry bubblegum, the dirty Sprite's really popular.
Everyone claimed to have a pure product.
No fillers, no additives, no cut.
Guaranteed to not kill you. Asterisk.
It's places like this where some people come to buy hundreds of vapes at a time so they can resell them nationwide. So here's what we got. Why would you buy these when you can go and buy a certified product in the store? Well, it's price. These are a lot cheaper. These were about $20 a piece. You go buy them in a store, they're about $60 a piece.
To understand how counterfeit weed carts became one of America's biggest hidden public health disasters, we have to start at the beginning. In the early 2010s, legal weed exploded across the United States. Where weed became legal, so did THC vape cartridges. Simple, discreet, no smell, no smoke, but there was one massive problem. They were expensive. Too expensive for millions of casual users who didn't live near legal dispensaries. So illegal manufacturers saw an opportunity. They realized something genius and terrifying. There was nothing stopping anyone from printing fake THC cart packaging. Most brands of carts weren't real companies, they were factories. No quality control, no ownership, just artwork, logos, empty printer files sold online. These packages were mass produced overseas, usually in China, and shipped in bulk to US drug dealers. For a few dollars, anyone could order 1,000 empty boxes, 1,000 empty cartridges, and labels claiming 90% THC. But what went inside? That was where the danger began.
Push showed me what he called the Google test to avoid counterfeit brands.
So Big Chief packaging is what you showed me, right? So the first thing that pops up is that.
Holy shit.
So let me see that again. This is exactly.
Okay.
Look, you could buy 150 pieces of this at $2.14 a piece.
Wow, and that looks legit, right? So that looks nice. That looks
exactly the same shit.
Holy shit, so I have no idea.
You don't know what this is. You don't know what's in there.
Push showed me a number of different cart brands that had counterfeit clones, each of them looking like the real deal.
Big Chief right now, their actual fucking website was all the way down here.
Do they have anything on their site about,
Yeah, here's how to verify the product.
Okay.
Is there a code somewhere? There it is. Ooh, not authentic.
No way.
A real legal THC cart is made in a lab with strict testing. A fake cart, it can be made by literally anyone. And behind many of these counterfeits were makeshift laboratories, garages, basements, storage units. In 2019, police in Wisconsin raided what looked like a normal suburban home. Inside, authorities found 31,000 filled counterfeit vape cartridges, empty dank vape packages, barrels of suspicious oil, mixing tools covered in residue, and unlabeled chemical containers. Investigators discovered the recipe: cheap THC oil cut with vitamin C acetate, cheap distillate from unknown growers, thickening agents, pesticide-contaminated trim, and sometimes no THC at all, just random oils being sold as cannabis. Because to counterfeits, THC carts weren't drugs, they were profit machines.
Is this one of the largest drug operations you've had in Kenosha? I don't think it was, but of this type, it's the largest we've ever had. And as far as I know, it's probably one of the largest in the country.
Kenosha County Sheriff David Beth says the THC vape cartridge operation was being run out of a house in Paddock Lake and a condo in Bristol. Beth says they seized THC products with a street value of $1.5 million.
Their focus was on making money.
Sheriff Beth says two brothers, 20-year-old Tyler Huffhines and 23-year-old Jacob Huffhines, are both facing multiple charges for illegal drug violations.
That's just the tip of the iceberg in this operation.
Search warrants served at the residences last week led investigators to find more than 31,000 illegal THC vape cartridges, almost 100,000 unfilled cartridges, and dozens of mason jars filled with THC oil imported from California.
They would take a syringe and they'd inject it into the cartridges.
The sheriff says they also found guns, marijuana buds, cocaine, pills, and $60,000 cash. Investigators say they may never have uncovered the covert business if it weren't for a couple of parents in Waukesha who tipped them off to a THC cartridge they found with their son.
I ask all parents out there, this is a perfect opportunity and a friendly reminder to have that conversation with your kids.
The first confirmed cases of mysterious lung illness began in June 2019. Doctors were baffled. Patients showed symptoms that didn't match any known illnesses: collapsed lungs, chemical burns inside the chest, oxygen levels dropping to near zero, lungs turning solid like plastic. One of the first confirmed deaths was a man in Oregon. He had used a counterfeit THC cartridge purchased off the street. His lungs failed completely. Doctors said the damage was like inhaling burning oil. He died within days. According to an article by Fox 44 News, public health officials in Oregon said Wednesday that a person who died recently of a severe respiratory illness had an electronic cigarette containing marijuana oil from a legal dispensary. The second death linked to vaping nationwide and the first tied to a vaping product bought at a pot shop. Officials have not determined what sickened the middle-aged adult, whether the product was contaminated or whether they may have added something to the liquid in the device after buying it, said Dr. Ann Thomas with the Oregon Health Authority. Thomas declined to name the brand of the product or the dispensary during the investigation and said it's the only case of vaping-related illness or death in Oregon that authorities know about. The article later states that Wisconsin public health officials said late last month that 89% of the people they interviewed who became sick reported using e-cigarettes or other vaping devices to inhale THC. According to UPI.com, researchers at the Wisconsin Department of Health Services report that teens who develop EVALI, or e-cigarette product use associated lung injury, often obtain vaping cartridges through illicit or informal sources. According to a study published in the CDC's Morbidity and Mortality Weekly Report, of the 3,000 or so EVALI cases since last year when the condition emerged across the country, more than 50 were reported in Wisconsin. The article continues stating, the authors of the report based their finding on an assessment of 8 EVALI cases reported to their department in 2019. All 8 patients who were between the age of 16 and 20 admitted to daily use of THC-containing vaping cartridge in the months preceding onset EVALI symptoms. All of the THC cartridge used by adolescents in the analysis were purchased from local illicit dealers and were labeled as dank vapes or other illicit brand names. Several of the teens reported frequent sharing of THC cartridges before onset symptoms. The patients in the analysis submitted a total of 11 e-cigarettes or vaping products for testing. All 5 THC cartridges collected from 2 patients contained vitamin E acetate, while 1 product contained nicotine, vitamin E acetate, and cannabinol. None of the 5 commercially sold nicotine-based products collected from 2 patients contained vitamin E acetate.
Tonight at the Canasafe Labs in Los Angeles, considered one of the top marijuana testing facilities in the world, Canasafe executives Aaron Riley and Antonio Frazier explain they've come up with a brand new test.
We wanted to design a system that would be able to provide reproducible results.
To do something they wish the government would do, analyze the vapor produced by illicit THC oil. Canasafe tested 7 THC cartridges from licensed dispensaries and 6 from the black market.
The illicit carts had the most dangerous stuff in it at much higher levels, and that dangerous stuff we found ended up being formaldehyde, other carcinogens, and carbon monoxide, and of course hydrogen cyanide.
That's right, cyanide.
Not one of them was safe for consumption. Fair?
That's very fair to say. Every single one of them had something. Some of them had a cocktail of things that were wrong with them.
2 of the illicit cartridges were counterfeit products, seen here next to their legitimate counterparts.
How bad were these knockoffs?
They both had significant levels of carbon monoxide. They had formaldehyde.
They also tell us the illicit Kingpen had cyanide in it. There is no legal product called dank vapes, but according to the CDC, many of those who got sick had used it.
We found over 7 pesticides in the dank vapes. We found significant levels of vitamin E, and we're seeing, trace amounts of formaldehyde, all the carcinogenics.
But the prize for the most pesticides went to the vapor from this illicit THC cartridge, Maui Wowie, with over 1,500 times the legal limit.
Even today, counterfeit weed carts remain a major threat. They're unregulated, often toxic, easy to produce, impossible to trace, and they're heavily used by teens and young adults. This has been the 3rd episode of the Disturbing Case Files. If you enjoyed, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. Thank you for watching.